So some of you might point out, oh my God, he's got a little bit of gyno. Yeah, I do have gyno. I had it in puberty. So I had pubescent gynecomastia that I haven't gotten the surgery to remove. It's not bad when it's like my nipples are hard, but TRT did not accelerate this at all. So if you notice it, don't worry about it. It was already there to begin with. So first things first, soak up the pad with isopropyl alcohol. Wipe down the top of the vial. Also, before I do any of this, I like to shake up and then warm the vial between my hands, simply because there can be a formation of crystals in the vial if it's stored at below the recommended temperature. So just playing it safe. So currently I have dropped my dose down from 160 milligrams per week to 140 milligrams per week, which means I am injecting 20 milligrams per day. Because there's 200 milligrams per milliliter in a bottle of testosterone cypionate, that means I will be injecting 0.1 mils per day. So that's 20 milligrams per day for 7 days in a week. 7 times 20 is 140 milligrams per week. So that's the basic math there. So open it carefully, pull it out, take the cap off of the plunger. For an insulin syringe, it's important that you draw air back into the barrel. I go pretty much all the way to the bottom. Take the cap off, deliberately push the needle through the rubber stopper. Boom. Inject all that air into the vial and flip the vial and the syringe over. Injecting air into the vial is going to create a vacuum within the syringe, and this will make it a lot easier for the medication to be drawn up into the syringe, especially for an insulin syringe when the needle is so freaking thin. So now I'm going to pull just past where my dose line is at 0.1 milliliter, and I'm going to wait for that sucker to fill. And remember, it takes a little bit of time, especially with an insulin syringe. It's the only drawback with an insulin pen. Okay, so I've drawn just past that 0.1 milliliter mark. So now I'm going to push the plunger up, and you'll notice there's a big bubble at the top there. So what I'm going to do is try to get that bubble right in the middle of the needle, so that when I push the plunger back up, it's going to push that bubble back into the vial. There went the bubble, and then I'm going to push it back up to that 0.1 milliliter line, just where that plunger meets the bottom edge of that 0.1 milliliter line. So right there. So you'll notice on the insulin syringe, it has its units of measurement in literal, what they call units, from 10 to 100. Simple math would indicate that 10 units is 0.1 of a mil if 100 units is a milliliter. So every single one of these marks, 10 is 0.1, 20 is 0.2, 30 is 0.3, all the way up to 100, which is 1 milliliter. I like to grab a different alcohol pad for disinfecting the injection site. Okay, remember we're injecting the belly here, so I'm going to start just about an inch or so to the side of my belly button. So I'm going to place the alcohol pad and start rubbing in a circular motion from the inside out. Let that dry for a few seconds. If you're injecting Subq on your belly, you have two options. One of them is more scary. So the first option is, if you got enough fat, and I think I do, if you drop the needle in perpendicular and just don't push very hard, you can just poke it in. You're going to be Subq, and you can just inject that way. But if you're injecting Subq, you're probably trying to get away from that needle fear anyway. So the least psychologically damaging way is this. You take your skin where you disinfected, careful not to touch the middle. You pinch it lightly. You take that needle, you come in at a 45-degree angle, just like that. And you go 3, 2, 1, and in. And you push down the plunger. And you can slowly let go of your pinching hand. That way, when you're done injecting, you're not squeezing all that medication out. So I put all the medication in. I'm going to rest for a few seconds here. Grab the needle, pull it out. And then I'm going to disinfect that area once more. And this time, as you're disinfecting, you can kind of rub in that medication. This will help keep that medication from lumping the fat underneath your skin. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you inject Subq in your belly. So you might be wondering, okay, how should I rotate my injection sites if I'm doing Subq? And yes, you should rotate your injection sites. Here's what I would do. If you're doing twice a week, then you only have to rotate between 2 injection sites. Again, this is what I would do. I would choose one area, say my stomach, and I would alternate between the left and right side. That's if I'm doing twice a week. If I'm doing 4 times a week or more, I want to have at least 4 injection sites where I'm rotating. If you're doing Subq, you have a lot of options. Pretty much anywhere where you've got enough fat to inject into is like, free game. But I like the area just above my glutes and just below like my hips. So kind of in like this area right here. There's plenty of fat there on most people to, go at that 45-degree angle with, have it pinched, go up 45 degrees, let go with your pinching hand and inject your medication and pull out. Like, it's the same. I think people have like this weird fear that they're going to just absolutely like wreck themselves somehow, like they're going to hit a nerve or something. If you're using an insulin pen, there's absolutely zero way you're going to do that. And if you're using any other regular injection needle and you're doing Subq, again, there's almost no way you could possibly hurt yourself. So yeah, like the first time you inject there, it's going to feel a little bit weird because you're not used to it, but you'll get the hang of it. It just takes a little bit of practice. So the rules are always the same no matter where you inject Subq. If it's your back fat, your leg fat, your butt fat, your stomach fat, it's always that pinch, 45-degree angle, let go, inject, pull out. That's my method. Again, you can go in straight at 90 degrees if you don't push in very hard and go into the muscle. But most people don't like to do that anyway. So that's just my method. Of course, you can also do Subq with the standard syringe. This is a 3 freaking milliliter syringe that the pharmacy gave me. It's got the drawing needle and the injecting needle. You drop the medication with this head. You pull this one off. You replace it with the injection needle, pull the cap off, and inject. I don't like these because they hurt a lot. That's just my opinion. Look how freaking long this thing is. It's 1 inch. It's twice as long as my insulin pen. I'm a pussy. I like the insulin pen, so that's just my opinion. I'll give you guys a taste of each of my injection sites. Right now I'm doing IM, so I hit my delts, my lats, my glutes. A lot of people think the lats is like a foreign area, but it's like one of the easiest areas to pen if you're not super inflexible. And the more I grow, the less flexible I'm getting. So maybe at some point I'll have to drop that off my list of injection sites. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'd love to help you out or talk about it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.